Hey you guys, this is Rico and I am back again on your computer screen. So if you guys are doing well because what? You're watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see me talk about other topics pertaining to East Asian pop culture as well as other current events. Problematic manga and other forms of comic books, and how many people I normally go online and I'll see comments and they'll say, oh my goodness, like why is this like this? And if you don't know the culture and how it kind of panders to this weird fantasy that is in East Asian pop culture, it could be like a fetish in a way. Then you will be completely confused and shocked, and you will apply your foreign ideologies onto this culture. But there is definitely a thing that goes on where there's like a love for youth, and how it goes through many forms of media, and you'll see it. There are comic books where it is like a child that can become a grown adult almost, or a teenage adult, and it's sexualized. And there are many comments and people will say, well, that's still a little girl, like it doesn't matter if she can put on some big shoes and become a sexy teenager. Like everybody, every man anyway, seems to love and lust after. But it is about this love of like younger people and younger girls, especially for men that are a little bit older. But then you think about like being of age, and I definitely see where you're coming from with that. But I do have to say that there's always like this line or this gray area where you have to really look at the story and think like, okay, so when does it go too far, and where is there like this kind of gray area? So the comic book or the manga that I'm talking about is Round in the Gray World. And many people, when this first came out, especially to English-speaking audiences, there were some comments where many people were saying that, you know, well, this is basically fetishizing a little girl. I don't agree with that. I do think that it's fetishization of teenage girls. Definitely little girl, not so much, because the male characters aren't lusting after the little girl and the little girl's body. They're lusting after the teenager who's growing into herself, you know, long legs, big chest. And this is one of the kind of confusing, weird, interesting concepts of the manga, because you think, okay, so there's a character that is interested in Ran, but she's a little girl. She doesn't actually look the way that this character sees her. So you kind of like, well, they can't actually be intimate because she's gonna have to take off the shoes at one point, and when she takes off the shoes, she goes back to being a little girl again. So you know, it's just like, you don't really know where this is gonna go. Well, most people do. It's a series that's ended. I'm currently reading volume 2. I do think that it's a very fun read. The art is amazing. I do think that there's various opinions on this work that can be put forward, and many people can talk about it, because it is definitely something that should be discussed, and many people feel kind of sensitive about certain things. I also think, I will say this, I think that people nitpick and they look for stuff too, to try to, you know, be like, oh no, this is this or this is that. But there hasn't been sexualization of a child. There's been sexualizations of her in her maturing female body, which is very much, you know, directed toward male readers. And the other thing that we can talk about too is the yes means no culture. And there's another work that's also finished but has come out to English-speaking audiences recently that there's been a whole lot of debate about, and it goes into the male-on-male yaoi category, killing stalking. And many people have had debates about how there's so much torture in this relationship, and how they're like, there's no type of love or anything here. I beg to differ. I do think that there's definitely love there. I just think that it's such a psychological, messed up, dark love that, you know, it's like you see the romance, but then it's just like, y'all are crazy as hell. You're crazy. This guy that you've gone into his house being a stalker, you find out he's crazy. He's crazier than you. Because really both characters have, you know, problems. They both local. They very crazy. And you see them come together, and you see that whole dynamic, and it's destructive. For one character more than the other, but it is definitely destructive. And you'll see many comments and people saying that, you know, I don't know what I just read. I knew what I read when I read it. I knew what it was. I knew what satire it was. I saw the romance in it. People were saying we don't know how that they shipped the couple, and you know it's abusive and all this stuff like that. The character that's in that situation, honestly, 9 times out of 10 in most situations that it happened, in most situations that presented itself that happened in that man's house, he did definitely put himself in that situation and many times chose to stay. And yeah, there was definitely a fear dynamic in it, but at the same time, there were moments where it was like, okay, get out of there. Get out. Go. Go now. Get out. Buddy, what are you doing? You know, and it's just like, then it's, okay, I can see the attraction between the both. I can see how they both like each other. Then again, it was like, no, he's crazy as hell. He's crazy. You need to get away from him. There's definitely this culture where it's like yes means no in East Asia. I think it's problematic, but there's a push and pull there. It's an unspoken thing that goes on where, you know, the girl or the guy would be like, no, 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 stop, no, don't, oh no, no, don't, no. And you know, really they mean yes, 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 keep going, keep going. It's weird. I think that's weird. Like, say what you mean and mean what you say. Because it's like it's confusing, and this culture is all through just manga, manhwa, and it is the culture. And there are many people that they're wired to think that, like, oh, you saying no, but you really mean yes, so I'm gonna keep going. So it's like, when is no actually no? So this manhwa actually showcases this, you know, a lot, where it definitely is a fear, but then there's a thrill for the character because there's an attraction there. So there's a thrill for both characters because there actually is an attraction there. It's just a very violent, dark, messed up. You know, 1 minute it's like, it's like, aww. Then the next minute it's like, why you just do that? You know, it's like a mood swing too. Like, so it's some messed up stuff that goes on in people's fantasies. There are people that like this. I like both of these works, to be honest with you. Maybe I have some messed up qualities in me too. I don't know. But, you know, this is something that it's constant. It's something I've noticed as a reader of manga and manhwa. Manhwa's been a little bit more recent for me, but for manga for like years, I've noticed this be a constant trend where it's just like some of y'all have some messed up ideals. It's just messed up. Even I do think that some of it shouldn't be seen negatively so quickly. Like, some people will automatically look at the two works that I've mentioned in this video and be like, this is A, B, and C. This is F and G. When it's like, it's not that deep. You know, it's like, read it and take it for what it is. Look past kind of the surface level and try to see like what the story and the artist trying to say, because both have actually a lot of deeper meanings. Like, if you really sit down and you really take it in past all of the torture scenes and past, you know, the little girl becoming a teenager, you will see that there's a lot. There's a lot going on, different messages and everything. And it's good to kind of sit and take in a story and put your judgments aside instead of just automatically going with your judgment and saying, you know, well, this has to be this, and only looking at it one way. So you guys, this is a lot to think about. How do you feel about these works? How do you feel about this concept of, you know, fetishizing youth, not children? Not children, just mental, dark mental work. I don't even know. You guys put below. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram, also a blog on East Asian pop culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for your various opinions. I will see you in the next video.